Costa Rica. I landed yesterday in the afternoon in San Jose and then had to take a car to Santa Teresa, which was about another 5 hours. So it was like almost like a 11 to 12 hour journey here. But now I'm here and I'm just chilling at the beach, and I gotta say, it's so beautiful and peaceful. And you know, I've been to so many beaches, and the beaches that I've been to in so many countries, they're always so packed. But coming to Santa Teresa in Costa Rica during off season, there's like literally no one here. So it's like you have your own beach to yourself. It's also perfect for surfing. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Neely by Nature. My name is Neely. If you are new to this channel, I'm currently in Costa Rica. I sold my designer things and kind of took all my savings and decided I wanted to travel the world for a year, and Costa Rica is my first stop. So I was supposed to initially do this video a week ago and talk about my first week here, but now it's been 2 weeks, and I kind of prolonged making this video because I kind of had a bit of an accident, which I will get into. I just wanted to make this video to kind of go over my first 2 weeks here in Santa Teresa. It's been amazing, to be honest. I really enjoyed myself here. I'm going to be heading to a retreat in Nosara Monday. It's Saturday today. And this was the perfect place to come before I go to this retreat. And in this retreat, it's going to be very intense, a lot of meditation, going within, working with shamans, and not just white shamans, like indigenous shamans. So it's like the real deal, kind of doing a lot of the inner work. I'll be there for a month. I didn't want to jump right into this journey, just going into this retreat. I kind of wanted to pace myself and come to Santa Teresa, which is a very hippie place. A lot of hippies, a lot of Europeans, people from the States, people from Argentina here. You rarely see natives. The only natives and locals you'll see is the people who are doing constructions, which is something I want to talk about later in my video. But you know, I really enjoyed being here in Santa Teresa and kind of allowing myself to adapt to Costa Rica before I head into this retreat, which will be very intense and doing a lot of inner work. And I can't wait to make videos about that and let you guys know, well, update you guys about my journey. My journey in traveling, I kind of don't know what I want to do with my life, and I wanted to travel and see the world and meet people and connect with people, and I think there's a story to be told about the world, and I want to go and capture it. But the reason I chose to come to Costa Rica first was because I don't think that you can be your fullest potential until you do the inner work, until you remove the blocks that's blocking you from being from reaching your fullest potential. And just being in Santa Teresa, I've been able to kind of ground myself. And the first week I got here, it was like my body was here, but my mind was still in New York, and I was still worrying, I was still feeling anxious, I still was thinking about the future. I wasn't fully present. I'm sorry about the noise. There's like, the road is right outside of our Airbnb, so there's a lot of cars going by. But yeah, I couldn't be present, and I was constantly thinking, and I was worrying about, what am I going to do for money? Did I make the right decision? Am I foolish for coming here? Oh my God, I just spent all this money to travel the world. I left my career to take a chance. I'm making the biggest risk of my life. I'm taking the biggest risk of my life, and is it gonna be worth it? And my mind just kept going and going, and I was so anxious. And I had these wonderful days where I, got to go to the beach and kind of just relax, but I still felt like my mind and my body weren't together. My mind was still racing and my body was here. And then I had a terrible accident. So my first week here, on the first Saturday that I was here, I arrived on a Monday. Me and my niece, who was here with me, we rented an ATV. So that is the most common form of transportation here: ATVs, motorcycles. I'll show you guys little clips of like what the roads are here. They're very bumpy. There's not really much of a pavement. They're very narrow, and they take lots of curves, unexpected curves sometimes. So we decided we wanted to take an ATV out for the day and kind of go see the rest of Costa Rica. We wanted to go to Montezuma. Montezuma is about 49 minutes from here. They have this beautiful waterfall that we really want to go see. And, people were just like, yeah, this is the most common form of transportation. Like, you guys should totally rent an ATV. A lot of the foreigners who come here are renting ATVs, tourists. So we're like, okay, we can do it. It was a little nerve-wracking at first. So, we took it for a spin around Santa Teresa, which was easy. It was fine. A little getting used to. And then we came back to our Airbnb and we decided we wanted to go to Montezuma. So we kind of just took our GPS and headed to Montezuma. Now, going to Montezuma from Santa Teresa, you're going uphill. And when you're going uphill, there's a lot of downhills as well, unexpected. And there's lots of turns, bumpy roads, which we were not expected. So the goal was she would ride for 20 minutes and then I would ride for 20 minutes. And we were about 2 minutes away from the waterfalls, and we come to like this uphill, and I see a downhill, but this downhill takes like this curve as well. And so as I'm trying to hit the brakes, the brakes are not braking because I'm already going downhill, and there's a car coming, like a truck, and I realize like if I don't stop this ATV, I'm going to hit into this car. So I try to stop the car by kind of turning to the side of the road, and then I end up hitting a fence and the ATV flips. We both take a tumble. My entire left side of my body is just fucked up. Like, I didn't want to make this video when initially this whole eye was like swollen. I didn't want to make a video like that because I was like, this video is going to last on the internet forever. But this whole eye was fucked up. I had to get stitches. My elbow was all fucked up. We were like literally laying on the ground. My niece was able to get up. She had like a few scratches. She wasn't as, I got the brunt of the scars and the injuries. But the car that was coming towards us ended up stopping. They ran, they helped us, took like a bag and tried to stop the bleeding. Another car pulled over, and this man was like, girls, I'll take you to the hospital. And I was kind of in shock mode, and I was still like, no, it's all right, I can still make it to Montezuma. And they were like, no, you need to go get stitches. You're bleeding. This is a deep cut. And I was just kind of like, oh my God, like, I was in complete shock. And so I and so this woman and this man from this truck helped us into this other man's truck, and she was just like, you can go with him, he'll take you to the hospital, I know him. And so me and my niece get into this man's car, and he drives us to the local hospital. I will never forget the car that stopped, and the car that stopped to take us to the hospital, this man who took us to the hospital, and the woman and the man who ran out of their car to like help us up and like help us pick up the ATV and move it to the side of the road. Like I really felt like these three people who came to help us were our angels, because honestly, something like that, you could have died. You know, an accident like that, your life could have ended like that. And I just felt like God sent those three people to like just save us and like help us. And I will never ever forget, the kindness of those people. So this gentleman, this amazing, wonderful gentleman, his name was Gustavo. He drove us to the hospital. He was like, do you want to go to private hospital? Do you want to go to public? And I was just like, whatever is best. He was like, the private hospital you'll have to pay, but with the public one you probably won't have to pay that much. So we're like, okay, we'll go to the public hospital. And so we get to the hospital, and I'm sitting there, and that's when I start to realize, like, oh my God, we just got into an accident, and like the shock just comes over me, and I just start to cry, and I felt so responsible. I felt so responsible for myself. I felt so responsible for my niece. I was like, I could have killed us. I just felt horrible. And she was just an absolute angel. And she was just like, Nelly, like, this would have happened either way. The woman who helped us up, she was just like, these roads are fucked up. People get into accidents all the time here. She's like, it would have happened regardless. There's no way we could have seen the road coming. We did the best we could have done. And then the doctors came, and the doctors didn't actually speak English, so they were just struggling to kind of speak, to kind of communicate with us. And they saw that, I was in distress, and they were so incredibly kind and gentle with me. They stitched me up. And I was like laying on the bed, and they saw that I was crying. Every time I would cry, both doctors would just like wipe away my tears. So they were just like really trying their best to comfort me. They also, asked us a bunch of questions, making sure we were right. I didn't lose consciousness, which was amazing. One thing that I will say though is that if you do come to Santa Teresa, wear your helmet. And this was the biggest mistake I made, is that we both didn't wear helmets, because we were like, no one here is wearing their helmets, so it's not that big of a deal. And it's honestly the stupidest mistake we both made. Is like, if I had worn that helmet, I probably wouldn't have like this humongous scar on my face. I wouldn't have to get these stitches. God forbid, I could have gotten a concussion. I had this huge knot right here on the side of my head. If the ATV flipped over once more, I probably would have cracked my skull open. So if you ever ride an ATV, wear the helmet. If you come to Santa Teresa, wear the helmet. We talked to so many people here, like locals, people who moved here, and they were just like, ATV accidents here are so common. People die all the time. 3 weeks ago, a tourist came, and he drove into a local here and ended up killing him. So please don't make the mistake that I did. I think through the skin of my teeth, God saved my life. So I just wanted to make this video, make sure that, if you guys come here and you want to rent an ATV, it is the most common way of transportation. Wear the helmet. If you don't want to ride the ATV, you really don't have to. You can walk pretty much anywhere here. You can also call a cab. There's cars here as well. So, do whatever is most safe for you. After that day, we never took an ATV again. So anyways, we finally get stitched up. We got bandaged up. And I'm just like, I am so worried about this hospital bill because we didn't get travelers insurance. So I was just like freaking out. I was like, I don't know, like what am I gonna do? I was like, this is more money to be spent, and so the doctor ends up writing up kind of like some documentation for us, and then he's like, okay, go see the nurse, and then we go see the receptionist, and she just looks at the paper, stamps it, and gives it back to us, and she's like, okay, you guys can go. And I was just like standing there. I was like, I don't have to pay, and we were just looking at each other. Me and my niece were just like, we don't have to pay, and we realized that insurance, health insurance in this country is free. So even for tourists. And I was just like, what? I was in literal shock because if you don't have insurance in New York, this hospital bill would have been like thousands and thousands of dollars. So I just felt like incredibly grateful for my life. I felt incredibly grateful for these doctors. I felt incredibly grateful for the healthcare system here. I was just like, I just honestly felt like this accident was meant to happen to kind of slow me down because, you know, it was kind of like metaphoric. Like I was trying to get to Montezuma, and I was just focused about getting to my destination, and I wasn't really like being present. You know, I was just worried about how fast can I get there, you know, and it was just a reminder for myself to be present and to stay present and to enjoy being here, to remember to give myself gratitude, and not just myself gratitude, but to others, and feel grateful for this very moment that I'm living. And it after the accident, it kind of changed the entire course of the trip for me and my niece because we were both feeling like, you know, anxious. We were both feeling kind of strange to be here, you know. She quit her job to kind of travel with me, and you know, we took these huge risks, and you know, we got here, and we don't know where we're going. We have no direction, and we're taking a chance on believing in ourselves and kind of figuring it out as we go. So just the accident in itself was just like a reminder, and for both of us, that life is so short, and to really be grateful and to appreciate and to be happy, to be alive. Like, life is so precious, and you know, anything can happen, and your life could be gone just like this. So it just kind of changed the entire course of the trip, and we ended up having a blast our following week. The first week we actually got here, it was still rainy season, and then the second week has been just absolutely beautiful. It's been sunny, so we've just been enjoying the weather. We've gone to the supermarkets, and we were able to get some fresh fruit and vegetables, and we came back to our Airbnb, and we've been cooking here every now and then, which is amazing because we get to save so much money on food, because the food here is actually a bit expensive. Not as, you know, it's not like $50-$40 or anything, but it is quite expensive. I would say about $10-$15, like that, which I kind of didn't expect. So cooking here in our Airbnb, and our Airbnb has this really amazing outdoor kitchen, which is nice, and they have like all the tools to cook, like pots, pans, and stuff like that. So yeah, you know, I've had an amazing 2 weeks here in Costa Rica. Got really dark. Had this cool, check out my tan. Got, you know, really nice and toasty, you know, sun-kissed brown. The food here is amazing. They have they have local restaurants, which I love. I prefer, you know, local food. It's a lot cheaper than the other restaurants they have here. It's called Sodas. So if you're ever here in Santa Teresa, make sure you hit up the Sodas. That's like the authentic local Costa Rican food. The beaches are just absolutely beautiful. I came during low season, so it's not really packed here. the locals here did tell us that during December or maybe the following week after like Thanksgiving, it starts to get really packed where the roads are just so jam-packed. I'm so glad that I'm not here for that because the roads already are so bumpy. So I can't imagine if the roads are like jam-packed with cars. So I'm glad to be kind of missing the high season and the traffic and all that comes with it. It's been really peaceful to be here. My second week here in Costa Rica, I've been able to really ground myself and I've been a lot more present. I've been feeling a lot more gratitude. I still have moments of, anxiety that perks up like, oh my God, what's next? But all in all, I've just been feeling really grateful to be here and just to have this experience because it's been wonderful. The people here are wonderful, the locals especially. One thing that I do want to say, and I mentioned this in my previous videos, was there's a ton of foreigners here. Like, this is modern day colonization. And if you come to Santa Teresa, you will see it. Like, it's hard to know who's a local and who's a foreigner because a lot of foreigners have been here for years now. And, they have kids here and they speak, Spanish and everything. So you don't know who's a local or who's a foreigner. But a lot of the foreigners have moved here for years. They have kids. They bought up, land here. I think Santa Teresa has so many Airbnbs and apartments that are owned by foreigners from the States and from Europe. And it's actually a bit sad because I don't think that the Costa Rican people actually understand what's going on because they don't understand the concept of gentrification. Gentrification is something that, I understand living in New York City, living in the Bronx. I was talking to the receptionist who works at our Airbnb, and I was telling him, like, there's a lot of foreigners here, and he was just like, I was like, this seems like gentrification, and he was just like, what's gentrification? And I think for him, it's like the people here are just seeing the jobs, so they're not realizing that like people from the States and from Europe are buying up the land here. So you'll see like a local person's house made of like tin, and then next to it it'll be like a really sick mansion or like a beautiful Airbnb or a hotel, and they're obviously slowly kicking out the people who live on this land, right? That tin house is not going to be there forever, right? Because some person from the States or from Europe is just going to buy that tin house for, a nice penny and build something really beautiful on there. And it's kind of sad to see that it's happening here because, we know that this is happening in Hawaii, where Hawaiians are asking Americans to stop coming and to stop moving to their land because people like Mark Zuckerberg are buying up their sacred land, and they're losing a lot of their rights to their land. And I think that's something that's going to be happening. Well, it's already happening here in Costa Rica. A lot of the foreigners who are moving to Costa Rica are having children here so that their kids can be citizens, and then they can become citizens as well. It costs a pretty penny to actually become a citizen here. So by having a child here, your child is automatically a citizen. In my previous video, I mentioned like the maintenance guy at my Airbnb was telling me that he has 9 Airbnbs and rental properties here in Costa Rica, and I just thought, wow, that's quite excessive, right? You're buying up all their land and then you're renting it back to people here. I can see there being lots of future issues here. So, there are so many things that I kind of observed in my 2 weeks here. I also am 2 minutes from the beach, which is sick, just like 2 minutes walking. But right where the beach is by me, there's strong currents. Santa Teresa is a huge like surfers kind of island. Like if you love to surf, you're gonna love Santa Teresa. Like everyone here is a surfer. Everyone who comes here loves to surf. But if you do come to Santa Teresa, be very careful because a couple days ago, someone actually drowned. Someone who actually, an Argentinian man who moved here, who has been living here for a few years, drowned because the currents are really that strong. So if you don't know how to swim, don't go too far into the water. You know, put your your feet in, your legs in, but don't try to swim too far in, because the currents will take you out. People die here in the oceans all the time. This is the Pacific Ocean. So if you don't know how to swim, this is just something to remember. But all in all, my 2 weeks here have been pretty amazing. The accident kind of was like a turning point during my stay here, and I'm, in a weird way, I'm kind of grateful for it, because it kind of put things into perspective for me. I was able to feel a lot more grounded, a lot more grateful, a lot more present, and I feel a little bit more ready to go into this retreat, where I will be doing ayahuasca, meditation, these silent retreats, and kind of just going within and quieting my mind, which is something I really don't get the opportunity to do in New York, or at all, honestly. So it's going to be a lot of work coming up soon, and I can't wait to share that part of the journey with you guys. And there is a part of it that I am really nervous, because I don't know what will come out, what I have buried within me, what kind of ancestral trauma will be coming out. But honestly, I am really looking forward to change, honestly, to change and transformation, and to move on to the next chapter of my life, and be the best version of myself. And I've been on this journey for a few years now, and I feel like at the point where it's like, okay, I'm ready to go all in, and I am all in. I've sold all my things, I've used up all my savings, and I'm going on this journey. And I honestly don't know what I'll learn when I get to this retreat. I don't know what will come up. I don't know if I'll continue to do this, or if I'll find out that I'm meant to do something else. But it's part of the journey, and it's part of being in the unknown. And being in the unknown it is really scary, because you don't know what's next. You don't know. You have no direction. You're just kind of in this uncertainty. But one thing you will learn in spirituality is that being in the unknown is the best place to create the world you desire, because you can't create from the past. You can only create from, the unknown. So I'm really in the thick of the unknown, and I can't wait for what's next. So, yeah, it's been an amazing 2 weeks here in Costa Rica. I totally recommend, people to come here. Be observant of, the gentrification that's happening here, and the modern day colonization that's happening. The local people here are super kind. You'll honestly know who's a local and who's not, because the local people here are always smiling. They're so graceful. They're so helpful. The foreigners here, the Europeans, can be a bit like standoffish. They don't give a fuck. That's just like their European culture. They're not like kind. I wouldn't say they're not kind people, but they're not, they're not the most friendly people. They kind of are a lot more serious. So you'll definitely know the difference between the locals and who's a foreigner. The woman who owns this Airbnb, there's about 4 Airbnbs in this area that she owns. She's actually from Florida. I absolutely adore this Airbnb. The receptionist and the people who work here are locals, so they've been absolutely amazing. I will actually link down below the Airbnb that I am staying in, because it's really beautiful. It's 2 minutes from the beach, walking distance from everything. The people here are super kind. It's been really clean. It's a little bit of a mess behind me, because we're actually getting ready to leave our Airbnb, and we're really sad about it. Just cleaning up, getting our things together so we can take off for our next part of our journey, which is going to be in Nosara. We're going to be there for a month, and I will update you guys all about it. So anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. Comment below. Let me know if you have any questions about Costa Rica, or Santa Teresa at least. Comment below. I love hearing from you guys. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys at my very next video. Bye.